David, let me ask you,
Yeah.
because this is also another very common topic when
Mhm.
people talk about wholesaling, is the difference between wholesaling and novation.
Sure.
So can you talk a little bit about that
Yeah.
from a TC side?
Sure.
How is that structured
hmm
and what's that look like?
Yeah. So just to lay the groundwork for everybody, just in case there's somebody that's new or listening. So in wholesaling, we are looking for cash buyers, right? The reason we're looking for a cash buyer is because if you were to go get a loan from Bank of America, right? They are not going to pay an assignment fee on the HUD, on the closing disclosure, right? There are actually laws, RESPA laws, that dictate what a conventional lender can and cannot pay, right? So that's why we say in wholesaling, you're looking for cash buyers, because we cannot sell to somebody who's getting a traditional bank loan. Can it happen with somebody at a local credit union because their next door neighbor is the president? Yes, but 99 out of 100 times it's not going to work. That's why we have
Right.
hard money lenders and private money lenders and all of that. However, there is a way to do it, but it's through a novation. And essentially, right, the way that works is instead of your assignment fee being paid by the buyer, it's going to be paid by the seller, right? So Bank of America never looks at what's on the seller side, right? It just looks like a payoff. We call it a marketing fee. So that's in the smallest nutshell, that's what a novation is. Now, you're going to present it a little bit different. You're going to have some different paperwork. You're going to have a different purchase and sale agreement. There's a novation indemnification agreement, which basically says, hey, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what you're going to do. And you can't sue me if, things go sideways, right? You definitely want that. And then most likely you're going to work with an attorney in fact document, which is an unnotarized document that just allows you to put this property onto the MLS, all right? At a very simple level, that's it. There are some people that use a power of attorney, but that gets a little more complicated. So ultimately, now I have a property where I can go out and put it on the multiple listing service. I can go look for a retail buyer, right? Because retail, let's talk about this. Who's going to pay more? Me, who wants to buy a rental property from you, right? I'm gonna beat the dog snot out of you because I want it for the cheapest price ever because I'm an investor. Or Joe and Susie, who want to buy this house for them to live in.
Joe and Susie all day.
We know Joe and Susie are going to pay the most. So what this does for investors is this really opens up the blue ocean of buyers where they can make more money. Now, the process is more complicated, right? It is the easiest type of deal to screw up. The easiest, because now remember, you're not dealing with me, the investor, who you're like, oh, hey man, we had a problem, we got to move title companies, whatever, right? I'm going to be like, man, knock another $500 off, we'll call it a day. Now I'm dealing with a retail buyer and a retail agent who they don't love investors to start with. Shocking,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And they just get very nervous. And when they see, contracts going back and forth and all these weird things, and novation, which means replacement of contract. So my contract with the seller, I'm going to actually crumble that contract up and I'm going to make a new contract between the seller and the end buyer to make it more like a retail transaction. When all of these things are going on, you can spook people very easily, right? Or you go to the wrong title company who truly is not investor friendly, and they start dumping all this paperwork to the loan agent. And the loan agent's like, what is going on? I don't even know. Look, denied. I'm not doing this. Now your deal's done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Fraud.
Fraud.
This is not real. You
Yeah.
can't. Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
promise you,
Yeah.
I have had half the members of family have called me and like, hey man, can you save this deal? Like, I started doing this novation. I didn't really know what I was doing. Like, yeah, man, tell me what's going on. Oh, you let the buyer's agent pick the title company. Oh, well, that's your problem. Of course your deal died.
That'll do it.
So yeah, we save and restart countless novation deals. And those are big assignment fees, guys. I'm telling you, like, those are, the average assignment fee I think is 18,000, something like that. Like, those are the 40s and the 45s. Like,
Wow.
Now they take a little longer to close because you're going through a traditional process, but if you could start to sprinkle those in, those are some incredible deals. They are really, really good. But you'll be on a little bit of pins and needles during the whole process. So it's much better to let us handle it. So 40% of all the files that we close are novations. Our team honestly would actually rather close a novation. They feel it's way more straightforward than an assignment deal. And they're just they do it like clockwork. We know the right title company. If it's not us, we know the right one to send it to. That we vetted them before we sent them one file. We made sure they understood what a novation was and how to do it, who we should be talking to. And so we're not going through any of that stuff. So they're not sending paperwork to the wrong people. And because again, my job as your coordinator is to get these things closed, not to screw it up.
Yeah, that's so good. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
That really was a really clear
Clear as
explanation.
mud.